I'm just not sure. I, I just don't understand why this guy just had to stand right in front of my car as like I'm trying to leave. Like, why are you standing right in front of my bumper when you could stand on the sidewalk? I mean, I don't know, it just sounded like, maybe logic. Anyway, I'm Dr. Evil Genius here with episode 123 of Genius Take the Wheel. This is a live stream that I do coming out of the gym on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays. So if you're catching this on the replay, try to catch me live the next time out, which as of today would be this coming Saturday. What I do here is I kind of talk to you guys about my journey towards trying to get swole, trying to get healthier, and motivate many of you who may be struggling to stay consistent. Just stay consistent. Now, I am having a particularly difficult time remaining consistent um, for a weird reason. So, for those that have been watching me for a while, you guys know that I work really, really hard. I put a lot of effort into what I do, and sometimes I go too hard for too long. And that was certainly the case when I failed to get a deload week in, probably 2 or 3 weeks late. But I'm doing the deload this week, doing roughly half of what I would normally do. So it doesn't really cost me a lot energy wise. But here's the thing, right? And, it doesn't really affect me too much while I'm doing the work, but it affects me before and after the work. So I don't go hard on deload weeks, but I also don't take any pre-workout at all. I see that there's a new comment. I'm in motion, so I can't read it just a second, but just right now. But next time I come to a complete stop, yeah, I don't take any pre-workout, and I never drink coffee anyway. That's a Mrs. Evil thing. She drinks a lot of coffee. I don't drink any coffee ever. What's up, meme stuff VR? What's up, man? Good to see you again. Um, yeah, I don't do caffeine. So if it's not in a pre-workout, and so, hey, Mrs. Evil is here. How you doing? Um, just talking about you, right? Talking crazy crap about you behind your back. Um, yeah, just don't do I don't do the coffee thing, and when I do caffeine, it's in a pre-workout, and one of the things I do when I deload is I kind of flush a lot of the uh, a lot of the dependence on caffeine. I try to flush that out the best I can in the weeks that I'm not ramped up. So the pre-workout ends up working a little bit better. Especially when I go right back to working hard. Um, But I know that there are people that just can't function without caffeine. Christopher Runge, how you doing, man? Thank you for coming by. So, I don't really like to mess um, with uppers and downers, but you know, coming off the caffeine cold turkey is not a lot of fun. When you're looking for excuses to get up and do the things you have to do, you know? And so, you guys know that I do active rest. I don't just take the week off. I don't completely unload, I deload. And so, I'm working at pretty much half capacity across the board. Instead of 425 in a leg press, I was doing 225 today. Instead of 225 on the hack squat, it was 135. Instead of 130 on the, you know, bilateral prone leg curl, it was 65. Instead of 170 on the leg extension, I just did 90. So I'm working at roughly, half capacity to allow my body to heal while still remembering I, need to stay on the schedule and do this work, right? Um, but I gotta tell you, it's a struggle because, yeah, I'm working at half capacity, but I'm working with a lot less chemical inspiration, we'll call it. And I've noticed that, it makes it much, much more difficult to get up and do the things that I know that I need to do. Um, like get up stupid early and go to the gym, or to get up stupid early and go, service a PT session at 5:15, 5:30, 5:45 in the morning. So it's easier for me to hop out of the bed when I know that I've mixed up my pre-workout for the next day the night before. So the only thing I have to do is just knock it back. I'm instantly more alert, and it's helpful. Uh, much, much more difficult to do all of those things, and just knowing that I'm just not going to get any assistance. But I go through it anyway. In the mid morning, when I'm done doing a lot of the work that I'm supposed to do, if there's any downtime, I'm taking a nap. You give me any amount of time uh, to get some shut eye, a little bit of rest, I'm taking it. You know, um, obviously, if I take the pre-workout at 7 a.m., 6:37 or 8 a.m. or 9, or whenever, or if I don't have an early a.m. client and I need to train myself, I need to train hard. I don't take the pre-workout after 2 p.m. So I have a chance to sleep that night. Uh, but it is difficult when you go the whole day with no assistance. But it's been getting a little bit better for me as time has gone by. Mrs. Evil might need a nap today. Yeah, that's my fault. I'll accept that blame. Got to close the window because people have to share their cancer sticks with everybody else on the road. Awesome. Uh, but yeah, I think it's a good idea, guys. If you guys could just kind of new car. No, I've had this car before I had the other one. This is the SUV. So Mrs. Evil is going to join me in the car in about 10 minutes or so, and uh, she's more comfortable driving this vehicle. This is an SUV. Um, she's more comfortable driving this vehicle than the little convertible. So she's going to help me out with some parking related stuff today by taking control of the vehicle for me. And so I decided to take this car instead. I got to close both windows because I'm behind the smoker. Awesome. All right. So, I just want to, make sure that she's comfortable and she's most comfortable driving this car. But I always ask her, I'm like, Mrs. Evil, should I bring out the blue car? Huh? Huh? And she's like, whatever you want to do, like she always says. And I'm like, I'll just keep you comfortable. So yeah, like, I realized that, working at half intensity is actually a lot less than half intensity when, there's no pre-workout involved. But I got through today. I really, really did not want to go today. I really wanted to sleep more. But the I fought the temptation to turn off the snooze. I honored the snooze button today. I got up. Um, so I'm happy I did that. Sorry, I just can't stay in this line anymore. Um, but yeah, have capacity today. I am gonna do some light arm work today because everything is light. I think I'm also going to uh, I am going to that is a street sweeper on a tow truck. I was about to say, um, uh, yeah, to just did not want to get up, um, but I did, and I'll do some biceps and triceps today, very light. Um, Normally I work with 45-pound dumbbells on the bicep curl. Today I'm going to be working with 25s. Uh, Half the reps that I would normally do. Um, and just kind of trying to let my body rest. I can tell you that my patella tendon, the bottom of my left quad really started to bother me, and I can tell that I was actually getting close to being injured for real, because um, several days after I've gone deload, um, was still feeling uh, I'm still feeling some discomfort in my left knee, and I'm thinking I might have to keep the intensity my for my leg work. I may need to bring that down and hold it down for longer than the 1 week that I prescribed if my knee doesn't start feeling 100% again. I mean, it feels a lot better than it did when I forced the issue on Saturday, but I've got one more deload leg day, which is Saturday, and I need to see some real improvement in how my knee feels um, by really next Monday, because I know Sunday is going to be a big chest day for me. Is your wallet in the car? Actually, I think your wallet is in my office. Last time I saw the big yellow thing, it was just sitting in the office yesterday. But there's nothing else in here, Mrs. Evil. Yeah, I don't think that there's oh, well, yep, there you go. All right. So yeah, actually, I'm about 3 or 4 minutes away. Yeah, glad you didn't lose your ish, because we cannot afford to replace more of what's normally found in wallets. All right, nice. All right, uh, so yeah, a couple of interesting things happening. I watched a video just a few minutes ago about some stuff going on in Houston. Houston, we have a problem, like literally a major, major problem. Apparently, the government is looking into some leaks of some STD, STI reports, and they're claiming that the um, they're claiming that the numbers are incorrect. But I heard, in the last week or two, 42,000 new reports of the HIV, the yuck yuck, the disease is forever. Uh, I mean, ugh, you know. Oh, we got another one from Denmark. Sir Fernando, the Fondue King, has arrived yet again. Good to see you. Good to see you. Yeah. So there's a long line here, so some of them are going to pretend like there's no stop sign here. That's going to be a barrel of fun. Sometimes cops like to sit here and do the stop sign trap, wait for people to roll through it, and then pop up on them. And I'm a big supporter of that. All right. All right. So we're here to get Mrs. Evil. Hey, look at that timing. That great evil timing. Nice to have a couple of you. Yeah, yeah. On TSP, we have some people that really do like to that like you know especially the MMA fans of Denmark. They like to come through TSP. And here is Mrs. Evil putting on her seatbelt.
Yeah. Looks like my hair's tight. Okay, go.
The water was choppy on the river today. Oh, now you're the disembodied hand.
Now lean over.
Right? We had a different disembodied hand last time.
Good morning, Sir Fernando.
Sir Fernando the Fonduque.
Oh my God.
You gotta say the whole thing like a Tribe Called Quest.
I'm also putting it in the chat.
Oh man, we're having fun. We're having fun. Yeah, so 4,000 new reports of the HIV in Houston. One chick that was talking about it was like, we're not talking about the state of Texas, we're talking about Houston. And it's a little
What is happening in Houston?
it looks like the HIV, the permanent yuck,
What's the hair?
HIV.
Oh, I just woke up. I was like,
They're reporting like 5-figure amounts of new cases every week, and it's like it's some of the reports of like men reporting that when they pull out a condom, the women kick them out of their house when the guy pulls out a condom. That's crazy. Oh, you being weird. Oh, you act like you don't trust me. Oh, you act like I'm not good for it. Oh, this, oh, that.
see you next time, Christopher.
Thank you, Christopher, for coming through. Yeah, that's crazy. It's crazy to me. Oh, you think I'm dirty? Well, what if I'm dirty? You wouldn't want me to pull out a condom to protect you? And so there's, reports of, people, women in particular, um, trying to pressure men into having unprotected sex because they have the HIV and they're purposely trying to give it as kind of like payback to society for them getting it themselves. And I heard stories about this in the 1990s, back when the disease was considered a death sentence because that's what it was. Um, uh, Back in the 90s, you got it. Or, well, basically what they did was they created laws to charge people with severe violent felonies if they knowingly gave the disease to somebody else. And of course, modern medicine has kind of blunted the edge of the deadly nature of the HIV. Um, but you got people like just handing it out like party favors at a birthday party. I mean, just no, ugh, like and at home, we talk often about making good decisions, and it's like Atlanta. I mean, you hear a lot about, oh, there's so many dudes, ditting each other in Atlanta, but it could just be salty women mad because the men that they want don't want them. That does happen. But you cannot, the health department is announcing, I heard like 42,000 in a 1 week span of, ugh, ugh. Like if I were single, I'd be like, listen, I might as well go on down to the courthouse and marry my hand. Because who wants to take that risk? And a lot of the times, the diseases are able to get to the next party because the person that has it, they're usually really physically attractive. They look good, therefore they must be clean. And a lot of times, that's some of the folly of both men and women. I talked about in the last stream how women have all these standards, but then when there's a good looking light-skinned black man with hazel eyes who's homeless, all of a sudden they don't mind 50-50. Hell, they'll pay for everything.
Sir Fernando says, "Oh no, they can miss me with all that HIV business. Not for me."
No, like that's crazy. Like, could you imagine if your fondue was fucking tainted with the HIV? Ugh, just ugh, ugh, ugh. No, thank you. No, thank you. You know. And I've always maintained that men should not try to make any one woman be his everything. But guys, man, I don't know what to tell y'all. You may not have a choice. You may not have a choice because they, they're and some, we can't really blame a lot of the women. From what I hear, there's a lot of down low activity, which I just think is horrid. Like if you're a diddier, if you're a diddy type, um, I understand that there's societal pressure to keep up your appearance of masculinity and the whole bit, but um, I just think it's really nasty for you to be reckless messing around with guys and then be like, oh yeah, I like girls too. Nah, you ruining the women for the guys that are not doing all the nasty stuff with other guys. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, and I'm not even saying that guys should not do what they want to do if that's their proclivity. But we gotta kind of draw the line at, what I'm doing is ultra risky. Perhaps, um, if you like,
Sir Fernando says, "I take my fondue very serious. Only folks who I know are clean can eat off of my charcuterie."
or that's some real ish right. That's some real ish because yeah, just no. Answer is no. You know, and I already know what's going on in Mrs. Evil's head. She's like, she's like, listen.
We have a very fun home, and that would end the funding immediately.
She said,
Fun immediately.
There would be no more Adventure Time. It would turn from an Adventure Time into regular show really, really fast. And yeah, people are just reckless out here in these streets. And it's also really bad when you're seeing that people are trying to spread the disease on purpose. That's really where I'm just like,
He says the Didiers are going buck wild. People need to protect themselves and be responsible.
Yeah, and the thing that really made me mad when I saw what I saw is that, I've been saying for a while, and people called me, oh, you're Andrew Tate. Oh, you hate women. Oh, blah, 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 blah. I don't even like Andrew Tate.
He goes to Adventure Time regular show real quick. He's laughing.
Um, I've seen and I've experienced. I have not just witnessed this. I've also experienced this. I have experienced uh, situations where I will deal with women and I will let them know that uh, I take a lot of precautions. I take a lot of precautions. Um, you know, and my policy about controlled substances. If a woman has any bit of alcohol or marijuana or any other kind of party favor in her system, we can't even so much as make physical contact. And because it really is a consent issue for both of us, it inhibits her ability to engage in enthusiastic consent. And it also puts me at risk of criminal and civil liability. Because the only thing that she has to say is, well, I had a cup of wine when it happened, so I was violated. And I will have no legal defense either in criminal or in civil court. I will have no legal defense.
Sir Fernando says you've got the right mindset. I share the sentiment in taking those necessary precautions.
Yeah, but here's the problem. Every single time, not every single time, but I would probably say more than half the time, I've tried to go on dates in the last, let's say, 4 or 5 years.
Might be a parking spot.
Huh?
I was trying to view. Is it left side or right side today? Thursday.
I'm really not sure. I got very lucky last time.
Yeah.
So I think my regular hiking spot shouldn't be open. Should be,
Yeah.
it should pass right by you. So I'll let a woman know, like, hey, I don't make physical contact with women that have any amount of alcohol in their system, and then they start trying to disrespect me. All of a sudden, they have, all of this scoffing that goes on, and they start, trying to roast you and make fun of you, and oh, I don't want to date you, and you're this, and you're weird, and you're that. And I'm like, all right, cool. Thank you for letting me know who you are. Anytime a man brings up the concept uh, of a prenuptial agreement, women hate the concept unless the woman is the one making more money. Then they care about prenuptial agreements. And now I'm seeing guys that are making smart decisions when it comes. And we always talk about how these guys are always, shooting up the club, getting, women pregnant, and not, protecting them, because we know that women control who gets born and if they get born or not. But then they say, oh, it takes two to tango. You could have used a condom. But then when the guy goes to use the condom, oh, what? You're trying to say you don't trust me? Or you're trying to say that I'm dirty and nasty? Why are you pulling out a condom? And it's like, well, it also could mean that maybe I don't want to have a baby with your dusty ass. That could be it. All right. Or it could mean that you have something that your immune system has not even acknowledged receipt of. You don't even have a physical chemical receipt of having said malady. I'm not going to try to squeeze in there. I'll take the spot up there. Yeah. You tell a woman, hey, I'm going to make the smart decision and, pull out a condom, and oh, they have all the ridicule in the world. And my position for a long time has been that there is, women immediately get the ick when men don't have the spine to protect themselves, except when a man goes to protect themselves against the uh, the uh, the risks of dealing with that woman, right? Women love the idea of protection until they're the ones that need to be protected against. They get really, really upset. Oh, what you trying to say? You don't trust me? Like, look around. Like, look around you. Look at all the people all the men who have been burnt. Um, by women looking for their opportunity to file for divorce. You know, all the women that are out there looking. You're getting these women who are mad because men are not approaching them out in the open anymore. Oh, these men, they don't want to. Men aren't approaching.
Check that sign real quick. This one that's not ripped over there, because it looks like Thursday.
It looks like an old sign.
Well, there's one that's not torn there.
I mean, but it's no parking. So as long as you're still sitting here, it's fine.
Well, it looks like road maintenance.
And it also looks like 6 p.m. to 6 a.m.
Okay.
But it doesn't matter as long as you're sitting in the driver's seat.
No, I know, but if they're doing road maintenance and they're gonna shut down the block, I think that I would probably need a move.
Yeah, but the road maintenance happens in the middle of the night.
Sure.
But yes, women always love to feel protected, but they hate to feel protected against. And as men, obviously, we're prone, at least in the old days, because in 2024 it's a little different. But in the old days, it was very easy to shame us into doing the things that they want us to do. And obviously, for those of us that are RP aware, we understand that. And I think I just talked about Homath's recent upload about the mystery zone. Um, in 2024, you have two possible bad outcomes in a lot of these mystery zone type situations. She can make fun of you and call you a Didier, or a detective can show up at your door and you get a public defender that urges you to take the plea deal and to register as an SO everywhere you go, and risk getting stabbed in the kidneys in prison. Now, both of those outcomes suck, but one sucks way more than the other. And so I'm always going to advocate for you guys, even if they ridicule you, make fun of you, whatever the case may be, always, always, always err on the side of caution. If you look at her and you think that she might be the type to label you a harasser because you approached her in public, then leave her alone. Let her go on TikTok, let her go on Instagram and complain that no men are approaching her. Let her go and do that. But don't you get caught up, basically being blasted on the internet, when you're out on a date and she is insistent on drinking, you put her in an Uber and you send her home by herself. And if she gets upset, oh well. Because let me tell you, that sex that you have with the woman that is inebriated will not be worth the sex that you'll be having in prison for the years that come after that, until somebody puts the green light on you and takes you off the census completely. If you're out there in Houston right now, I think that you should either check out what the hub has to offer, um, or put on a latex bodysuit, because it's dangerous in Houston right now. 0 out of 10 would not recommend. Sir Fernando, the Fondue King, says, nope, we have to be on the same page, or else I'm happy to go on my merry way. Absolutely, good sir. And, obviously, since I'm not single, it's easy for me to say that, I can turn down this woman and that woman. But even before I met Mrs. Evil and the Disembodied Hand, aka Joy Walking, before I met them, I did a lot of turning chicks down in all kinds of situations. I was turning chicks down that I had already smashed. And you need to be able to have that discipline, because a lot of times, guys are really only thinking about the fact that it's so difficult to get access, physical access to the ladies, that they feel like they have to take every opportunity. But you don't have to take every opportunity. You don't. You don't have to take every opportunity. There was a couple of movies in the 90s about people who found, bags of money. And basically, the premise is, what can happen if, you find a large bag of money. Then, people come out the woodwork, and now they know your address, they know your face, they know your likeness. And it's like, would you pick up that bag of money if, you know, the CIA or the FBI or, your local police department was using it as a honey trap, and now, you're in all kinds of legal trouble? Or even worse, in some ways, even worse, uh, that was some mobbed up money, and I've already heard from so many people, yo, if I found that money, I would do this and that with that money, and I would disappear, and I would do this. No, the motherfucker's gonna find you, and when they do find you, it's not gonna be a good time. And so it's like, yeah, it would be nice to have that 150,000 cash right now, but then what could go wrong if I take even 10 grand out of that bag? That's how I think.
Mm.
So, I apply that mindset of what could go wrong if I try to take this life shortcut. You know, people say, oh, with condoms, they don't feel the same. Okay. You know what also doesn't feel the same? When you have to disclose on every first date, oh, and by the way, I got the permanent yuck yuck. And then you see like their smiling face fall. Yeah, we can be friends. You know what I'm saying? Like I just don't see how that the pleasure has never been worth it enough for me to ruin the prospects that I would have for the future. Sir Fernando again says, now that I'm 29, I don't bother if it isn't the right fit. We've got too much to lose now that we've gone farther in life. Exactly, man. And I'll never forget this story. Um, I'll never forget this story. Um, I used to volunteer in this organization like 13, 14 years ago. And I remember that there was this cute girl with like really nice skin and nice hair and all on the whole bit. And, she seemed to have like a really like nice personality and all of that. And, so I would stop by her cubicle every now and again and shoot the shit with her. And she had a coworker that sat in the cubicle in front of hers. I had to pass her cubicle to get to the nice girl's cubicle, the nice girl. And uh, the bitch, because she was a bitch, I just walked past her cubicle without ever acknowledging her existence, and I would talk to the other chick and joke around in the whole bit. And the bitch chick was in her ear. Oh yeah, I think he likes you. He's trying to get with you and all this other stuff. Meanwhile, me and Mrs. Evil was planning our wedding for like the next spring, and it was pretty common knowledge that I was getting married, and I was happy to get married. But for her, she had to put out that energy for whatever reason. And the thing is, like, once she had a nasty attitude with me, I just stopped acknowledging her existence, and she got really mad about that. Um, so, um, one day I get called into the office by the director, and I'm being accused of harassing the young women that are there, and I got this bad um, half-year review where I'm a fucking volunteer. Imagine that, right? And then I find out that it was the bitch that coerced the other chick into not only thinking that I was trying to hit on her, but then they both, she got the chick to go with her and complained that I was sexually harassing both of them. When the bitch chick, I never acknowledged her existence. Like, I never acknowledged her existence. So it was obvious that she was lying, but, when you're in some of these community organizations run by, liberals who can't hack it in the private sector, well, if you're the male being accused, you're automatically guilty. Okay, whatever. But that's not where the story ends. It's only now going to start get good. So I had a friend that was cool that worked upstairs. Me and him still cool to this day. Um, he actually went to go hang out with some people that included the chick that I thought was nice, but obviously didn't have a mind of her own. Was very easily manipulated by the sisterhood, so to speak. And I think he went out with her and some other people. I think even the bitch chick was there too. And he said that that they started talking or whatever, and then they hung out by themselves after that. And then when they hung out, she invited him back to her place, right? So me, like, I'm laughing and joking, just trying to be friendly. I'm a sexual harasser. But the other guy in the office, she's trying to give up them draws, right? So me and him were talking about it at lunch like a day or two later. And he was like, oh yeah, so and so, did you have that issue with? Oh yeah, I was just with her. And he goes, we went out, we went out for some drinks, and the thing is, like, and Alvarez,
Mhm.
right? First thing I said was, yo, I know you smashed. He was like, nah, nigga, I swear I didn't smash. I didn't smash. I didn't smash. And he had this look on his face.
Cheated.
Oh, what country is she going to?
Ireland.
Oh, okay. She'll probably end up getting pregnant out there. Them accents. Um,
Joel's gonna have to deal with it.
they went together?
No, she went on her own. It was a friend's wedding.
He's messing up. Um, um, yeah, so he's like, I swear I didn't smash. I swear I didn't smash. I didn't smash. I'm like, come on, man. I know you always be closing. ABC. Like, I know you smash. Like, stop lying to me. Because he had that smirk on his face. You know that,
Mhm.
right? You know that smirk. And he's like, all right, this is what happened. I hit the ball in the gap. I was rounding second. I was headed to third. And then on my way going from third to home, I turned around, went back around the bases, and went back in the dugout. And I was like, well, what happened? So he was like, so when we went back to her place, we started like messing around, this and that. And then when, the clothes started to come off, I went to go put my face in the place. He went to go eat the snacks.
Mm.
And what he found was a war zone all on her cookie. And what we mean by that is genital herpes. And he was like, yeah, it looked like the Vietnam War. All kinds of landmines went off on that thing. So when he was about to go put his face into place, he was like, he pumped the brakes crazy hard, brakes screeching. It sounded like a car accident. And she was like, well, what's the issue? He was like, look, oh yeah, it's really not a big deal. I was dating this one guy I was in a committed relationship with, and he gave it to me, and he was like, I don't care. Like, I don't want that. Right?
Because
All right, all right.
my
Yeah. I'm looking. He'll probably be at the barbecue on Saturday.
Mhm.
Um, and I could not laugh hard enough because this chick thought she was better than me. She thought that she deserved the pretty boy in the environment, and I wasn't good enough for her because if she was attracted to me, she wouldn't have went to the office with that chick claiming I was sexually harassing her when I was basically just being friendly, uh, and ignoring the other chick completely. Um, she ran right over there, thought she was going to get with the pretty boy, not knowing that the pretty boy was my friend. And she suffered one of the worst humiliations of her life up to that point because she was ultra omega salty after that. She was mad that he didn't want to eat the snacks with herpes all over it. She was mad at him for stopping short and for not wanting to smash. Again, an example of a dude is like, hey, you are the danger that I need to protect myself from. And she's mad about it. And it's like, be mad about it. But the funny thing was, she probably thought I was ugly or unattractive or awkward or whatever she thought that I was, right? But you know what I'm not? I'm not herpified. I can fuck literally anybody I want to, and you can't. You are limited to people that got the yuck with you. And she thought she was better than me. And every time I saw her after that, the laugh that was welling in my belly. She thought that she had more SMV than me, and it turned out she had a whole lot less. Now imagine if she was receptive towards me. She basically helped me dodge her own bullet. I'm out here still having fun because my dick is still unburnt. Meanwhile, her pussy looks like the dark side of the moon. Guys, a lot of the times it ain't worth it. Most of the times it ain't worth it. So, continue to protect yourself, continue to make smart decisions. If you are looking at a woman and you're vetting her for marriage, that prenup needs to be signed 3, 4, 5, 6 months before the wedding. Straight up and down. And it's not about whether she can be trusted today. It's about whether she can be trusted under duress when she's angry, after she has filed for divorce. It's not the version that's sitting in front of you that you need to worry about. If you're out there having casual relations with women that you don't know well, really you should stop. But if you're going to continue, you need to make sure that there's nothing in her system and that people everywhere see you having actual real fun together. And if she agrees to sex, but her body language is kind of like, I'm not sure, you send her ass home. There will be other opportunities. Because let me tell you, there's not many good opportunities if a detective shows up at your door. At that point, all of your opportunities for years, possibly for the rest of your, short remaining days, those are not going to be good opportunities. So think long term, think ahead, continue to make good decisions. Continue. He thought he had me. He thought he had me. So, white hat.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he thought he had me.
Across.
Like, continue to make good decisions out there. Because you got to live with you at the end of the day. You don't have to, date women with bad attitudes that are overweight. You don't have to. Be patient.
Make all the socials, so I think I gotta finish this one on the desktop because it's just difficult to do on the phone. I think there are some settings I need to see.
Yeah, Mrs. Evil is working on setting up a skeleton for our joint business venture. I realized one of the reasons why our name is bad was realized. So we settled on the name More Gains, More Miles. And I was just like, where have I heard something similar to that before? Our trusty friend Derek from More Plates, More Dates.
I mean, we could always do a secondary name. It's possible to have one business have multiple names, or you have your main legal name and then other names you operate under.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
I feel like we were just stuck on finding the perfect name, and I didn't want that to.
Yeah. I mean, I like the concept, but I still don't like the feeling of having, bit off of somebody else's idea,
Yeah.
But, and I use Derek's products.
Yeah. It wasn't the intention.
Yeah. But that's why I felt uncomfortable with it. Like, it sounds good. Sir Fernando says, More Plates, More Dates is an awesome channel. Yeah, it's great. Great information. Even if you have no intention of ever using anabolic steroids or anabolic androgenic agents, even if you have no intention of ever using, he gives a lot of really good good information on all things supplements, not just the special supplements. So definitely check him out. Like I said, I use the Gorilla Mind products. I use the stem free and the Stem Full pre-workouts, which I'm on hiatus from during my deload week. And I use the hydration product too, which is also really good. So, I'm having a good time with that. Performance has improved substantially,
Mm.
you know. So, yeah, I enjoy using the product, and so I don't want to bite off of his thing, but we can go with it for now until we get that eureka moment.
Why don't you send him a message on YouTube?
Yeah, might do that.
Like, comment on one of his videos. You know,
You're like, I didn't try to bite off your shit, man.
get ahead of it. You're like, my wife thought of it, and I realized it sounds a lot like yours,
But we had already gotten the LLC.
and we didn't want anything that sounds boring. Yeah, just throw it in his comments.
Yeah. I might
So
try
that
to, or
because
I'll email him.
maybe somebody will. Well, I think if you throw it in the comments, somebody might reply with, you know, other ideas.
Yeah, perhaps, or maybe we can work alongside him. I don't know. But yeah,
Or maybe he'll give ideas. But
yeah,
I think if we get ahead of it, there's no intention to bite off of him.
yeah.
It just felt like it rolled off the tongue the best,
That's probably why he
incorporated,
chose his name.
and incorporates both of what you and I do.
Yep, and that's true.
So,
And on that note, I want to remind you guys that if you believe yourself to be strong, you are 1,000% correct. One more comment. 100% that Derek's content has helped me with my endurance supplement program. See? Boom, done. But yeah, I got to run up out of here. I got to go work with a client. I'll be back here on Thursday. Today's Thursday. Saturday. And we've got UFC on Saturday. So definitely check out TSP and all that other stuff. I got to run. Thank you so much for watching. And catch you guys in the next one. Peace.